Hi, I'm Sequor and I'm a stupid idiot. And this is my attempt to make a tutorial on how to add emotes to your avatar and then to add audio that will play with that emote when you toggle it. Um, I hope you're ready for tons of mistakes because I'm going to make them, but I'm going to try anyways. And so here we go. This is it. So, very first step here, according to my cheat sheet that I wrote before I started this video, is we need to make an action layer. So instead of just, handcrafting one, we're just going to go ahead and steal it from the SDK because they were so kind to provide it for us. It should be this very first one here. It says VRC avatar v3 action layer dot controller. That's the one we want. We're going to click on that, and then we are going to press Control D, and that is duplicate. That's what we want. When we duplicate it, it should still be selected, the one that we just made, and we're just going to press F2 so that we're not right clicking and then hitting renaming. You can if you want, but I mean, F2 is a shortcut for it. And we're just going to call this action. We're just going to call it action because that's what it is. It's the action. So now I have a folder in here called controllers. This is something that I made just to keep everything organized because I will lose it if I don't. And we're just going to take the action controller that we just made and we're going to drop it in the action folder. Just like that. And I'm going to go to my action folder here. As you can see, it's in my controllers action. It's here. It's this. Yeah, now we need to set up the action layer. So we need to go to our animator. If you don't have the animator, in your work area here, you can go up to here to window and then go to animation, animator. Unfortunately, it does not have a shortcut, but that's okay. So when you open up your action controller here, it is a jumbled spiderweb mess. Not fun to look at, but it makes sense once you dig into it. But like it's kind of nightmare fuel. So we are concerned with this right here. This right here. This is what we want, right? All of this because these are standing animations, and you can see here that there's like 8 of them or 9 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, I was right the first time. It was 8. I don't know why I'm doubting myself. Anywho, we want to do the first one here, just the first animation. You can see here it's stand wave, and the motion slot here is where your animation will go. And you can click this little circle here, and that'll bring up every animation that's in your project right now. Kind of fun to just, scroll up and down and see all of those, but it's a little hard to navigate. So I actually have an animation folder here. It's got, some dances and stuff in here. I'm gonna do the first one here, and click on our state here, and the motion slot here. We're just gonna take that, drag it there, just like that, and I'm gonna rename this. You can rename it, just to the animation, but I like to just number them because, again, I'm dumb. So we're gonna name that number 1, and that's good to go. This here is set, but now we need to set the transitions. And so the inbound transition, we're gonna click on this little arrow here. You can click anywhere on this little line. I just click on the arrow. We want to make sure that it doesn't have an exit time, and then it's a fixed duration, and the duration in seconds, we're gonna just go ahead and put that to 0.1 because I want this to go like immediately, just as soon as possible, that's good to go. So the condition here for this inbound should be VRC emote equals 1. So the very first one, this integer parameter should be equal to 1, the first one, right? And then the exit one, the outbound, going into the blend out stand state, we're just going to go ahead and turn off exit time here. And then we're going to do the exact same thing, 0.1, just like that, right? But you can see here that the condition, it does not have one. We're just going to go ahead and add one. So VRC emote not equal to 1, just like that. That's what we want. All right, so just like this, that's what we want. Our action layer is now good to go for this animation. That's what we need to do. Now that we have this controller here, we got to add it to our avatar, or else it's not going to do anything. So come down here into your avatar descriptor, go on down to the playable layers. You'll see it's a little arrow here. You're going to click on that, and then you'll see you have the base and the special here. We want the base one here, and then we want to go in here, and it's the action. You see it says default action. Just go ahead and click that. Then it's going to give you the option to drop in a new controller, and we're going to take that controller and just drop it right on in there, and that's ready to go. All right. So now that we have linked the action controller to our avatar, we need to create our parameter. So in here, I actually have a folder for parameters. Also gonna go ahead and just delete all of this stuff because I totally forgot to do that before I began this. Just idiot things. So in here, we need to create a new parameter menu. So what we're gonna do is right click in your assets folder here, go to create, VRChat, avatars, expression parameters, right? If you already have a parameter menu set up, then you don't need to do this. This is just in case you don't have one yet. Let's just say you're just starting this brand new. So we're just gonna name this params for, just to do it. And you can see when you do that, it's gonna have these 3 parameters already in here. You're gonna have VRC emote and then face blend H and face blend V. And VRC emote is an integer type. It defaults to 0 and it's saved, meaning that if you go like to a different instance, a different world, anything like that, it carries over. So now what we're gonna do is we need to go ahead and create a menu. So same exact way, right click, create, VRChat, avatars, expressions, menu. Just like that. We're gonna call this menu. Why not? Name it whatever. I like to do like my avatar's name with what it is. So I would go like zoo menu, but like you can call it whatever you want. It's literally up to you. And then before we go any further than that, we're gonna go here to our avatar and our avatar descriptor. Down here, you're gonna see an expressions. Just like this, it says like expressions, customize, and you're just gonna do that. And you have a menu slot and a parameter slot, and you're just gonna go ahead and drag that to the menu slot, and then go back here to the parameters. You have that there, and we're gonna drag the parameters to there. So now we have our menu set and our parameter set, and that's ready to go. So now go back to your menu item here, and I like to keep all of my like emotes. I like to keep everything organized in submenus. I love submenus. So same exact way as you made the original menu. Right click, create, VRChat, avatars, expressions menu. Just the exact same way. You're just literally creating another menu, and we're just going to call this one emotes, just like that, right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to go add control, and we're going to call this emotes. It's just a folder that we're going to be adding in there. We're going to go, submenu. That's the one we want. And on this submenu slot here, we can just click this little circle here, and that'll pull up all of your menus. And we're just going to go emotes. That's what we want. Just like that. It's set up now. That's good to go. And then I have our emote submenu, and I like to have a submenu folder. We're just going to drag that in there, right? And so now this is here. And so we're going to go ahead and add a control, and we're going to call this one Cheryl, because that's the name of the animation. And I'm going to do a toggle, and a toggle is basically something that you switch on and you switch off. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to go here, and we're going to do VRC emote. It's an integer, and the value is going to be 1. And that is like just like we did in the action controller. It is the first one. It is number 1. So that is set. Everything should be good to go. I don't think I made any mistakes here. I actually have it written here that I need to pray. So that's what we're going to do. Oh, if you don't have the AV3 emulator, it's going to be linked in the description. I highly, highly recommend it because it's gonna save you a lot of time testing your avatars out. Once you bring the package into your project here, you're gonna go up to Tools, Enable Avatars 3.0 Emulator, and that's gonna give you this object right here, and you just need to have this in your hierarchy. Once you have that, just hit play. So we go into play mode here. And as you can see, we're now in play mode. And I'm going to click on my avatar. And when you do that, if you have your menu installed, it's going to show up here. So under the AV3 menu script, you can see that we have our emotes submenu. We're going to click on that. And then you can see there's our emote. If we click on it and pray, it works just like that. Just the way we want it. Right? So now we can turn it off. You can turn it on, turn it off, you can turn it on. You know, in my work, hopefully. All right, so that does its thing. That does what we want. And now we're halfway done. Now we need to do audio, because what is a dance without audio? So very first thing that we need to do is we need to go ahead and create an audio source. Now, the way I like to do this is under your armature is the entire avatar. I like to go ahead and just create an empty object, just like that. And I'm gonna press F2 to rename it. And I'm just gonna call it audio, because why not? That's what it is. And then we're gonna go ahead in here, right click on the object, and we're gonna go ahead and hit audio source. It's gonna create a new audio source. I'm gonna rename this to Cheryl Audio. And if I wanted to do other audio sources, I would just do the exact same thing. Or you can just go here and just duplicate this as many times as you want. I mean, whatever you want to do. So we're gonna go into here. You can see it has the audio source component on it, and it has an audio slip slot here. And so I'm gonna go into here. I have an animations folder where I keep kind of like my dance animations and whatnot, just to keep it organized. I'm gonna go to Cheryl, and I actually have an audio source right here. That's what we want. So we're gonna go here, and we're gonna just drag that right into there, right? When this object activates, I want it to start playing immediately. So we have play on awake. It should be checked by default. If it's not, go ahead and hit it. If you want the audio to like finish, and then after it's finished to just start right back up again, hit loop. I kind of don't, so I'm just gonna leave it unchecked, but it's up to you, whatever you want. And then we're gonna go here, volume 1, spatial blend is we're gonna set it to 2D, because we don't want it to be like one ear or the other, depending on which direction you're facing in VRChat. I just want it to be like, if you're in the zone, it's gonna be in both ears. So we're gonna set it to 2D. And then here in our 3D sound settings, we're just going to hit linear roll off, and I'm going to set it to 5, meaning that you got to be pretty close to me to hear the audio. Like, you got to be like, in this little field right here. So with that done, I was trying to see if I could see the audio bubble, but I guess I can't anymore. But anywho, so now this is set up. This is ready to go. And what I'm going to do now, according to my cheat sheet, is I'm going to go ahead and create 2 new animations. So I'm going to go ahead and go here, and I'm going to create a new one. This one is going to be called Cheryl On. It's going to be the one that turns on our audio. And then I want one more. And this one is a special one. And we're going to call this one No Audio, if I can spell. So I have Cheryl on, and I have no audio. Now, what I want to do is I want to edit these animations. To be able to do that, you need to have them assigned to a animator controller, and those need to be on an avatar. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to literally click these just like that, and then I'm going to take these, drag them right onto my avatar just like that. And that when we do that, it's going to create a new controller right here. And we're just going to click on our avatar, and we're going to go animation. If you don't have this, you can press Control 6, I think it is. Yeah, Control 6. Or go to Window, Animation. And so now we have this. If we click on our avatar, and in the animation window, you will see that you have both of those animations, Cheryl on and no audio. You can call the other one whatever you want, but no audio is what I would call that one. So with here, this one here, the one that is our animation, I'm going to go up here to this little checkbox here, and I'm going to turn this off. And that turns this component or this object in our hierarchy off. Turns it off. And what I want to do now is there's a little red button here. We're just going to go ahead and click this. And that's our record button. And so I am going to make sure that I have this object selected. And I'm just going to hit the checkbox. And when I do that, it's going to create this property in our animation that says the audio component game object is active, and the checkbox is on there, meaning yes, it is active. That's what we want. So we're going to stop recording, and we're going to hit the preview off, right? And that is pretty much done. All we need to do now is just set it to make a 1-second animation. I don't really know if this is necessary or not, because I've tried it without it and it's worked, but just for, safety reasons, I've seen everybody else do it, and I figured, they probably have a reason for doing it. So, in this grayer bar here, this darker gray one here, there's a keyframe here. You can click on that. If you did that with like a whole bunch of these properties, it would select all of them in this line. And we just want to do that, right? And we're just going to press Control C, and that's going to copy these keyframes here. I'm going to move that 1 second, right? And then I'm going to just press Control V, and that's going to paste a new one on the 0 mark. So now I have a 1-second animation, and all that does is that turns this game object on. That's all it does. All right, and that is done. This animation, good to go. Now we're going to do the exact opposite of that, sort of. We're going to go here and turn that audio source on. That object, we want to turn it on. And then we're going to go here to this little drop down. We're going to hit no audio. And we're going to do the exact same thing now. Record, uncheck. And that's going to turn that one off. And we're going to stop recording. And we're going to copy that keyframe, move it 1 second, and then paste it in there. So now we have a 1 second animation that all it does is turn that object off. And the reason that this is no audio and not like Cheryl off is because we can do this for every audio that we do. So like if I add another animation with another audio, I can just add that disable to this same animation, and then it's just one less animation that you have to keep track of. This one just turns all the audio off. That's what we want. Oh, and then make sure that you turn this off. This needs to be off whenever you publish your avatar. Always. So now that we have those two new animations created, we're going to go to our FX layer, because that is where you need to do this stuff. Don't do it in the action layer. Don't edit your animations to toggle this on. It's going to do weird and wonky things. So go to your controllers, go to your FX controller. You see I have like all this stuff here. There's a video that Cam did for right defaults, why you need to have them off and how you can manage that. I will link that in the description. I highly recommend it because it does work. And yeah, VRChat, the devs want you to have right defaults off for, because right defaults does weird and wonky things. So anywho, click on your FX layer, and we're going to go to our animator. First thing we need to do is go to our parameters, and you can see here the VRC emote does not exist on this playable layer. We need to fix that. So to do that, click the little plus here, select an integer, and we're going to type in VRC emote. It needs to be exactly like that. Case sensitive. You need to have it exactly like that. If you are concerned that you are not typing it right, go to your parameters, and you can actually click on this and then Control C to copy it, and then come back over here, paste it. You will see that it's right. All right, now that this has been added here, we need to go to our layers, and we need to go plus, create a new layer. We're going to call this one audio switch, and we are going to set the weight to 1, and I'm going to put a mask on it. It's that video. It's the one that I'm linking on the bottom. All right, now we have a new layer within our controller. And what we want to do is go back to our animations here and take no audio, the one that turns all our audio off, set that to be the default. And we're going to turn right defaults off because why? We don't want that. We don't want it. And that's good to go. So when this layer starts, which is when the avatar loads, no audio. Now we're going to do Cheryl on. We're going to drag that in here, right defaults off. And I'm going to call this the same thing that I put in the action layer. You don't have to, but just for simplicity's sake, I'm going to number it. Number 1, that's what it is. All right, and so now that is good to go. But now these are not linked. They don't interact with each other right now. We need to create transitions. So right click on it, right click, make transition to this one. Click on the little arrow, no exit time, settings, 0.1 transition duration, and then the condition, VRC emote equals 1, because it's the first animation, the first emote that we need to do. All right, and then the exact opposite, same way here, no exit time, 0.1, and the condition, VRC emote not equal 1, just like that. Okay. Now I'm going to show you here. Actually, I already did. I don't need to do that. Okay, so this is good to go. If the VRC emote equals 1, this turns on. It transitions to this state. And if it's not equal to 1, it goes back to here. Just like that. Right? So that's done. That's it. That's all there is to it. If I wanted to add another audio source or anything like that, I would just make another one. Number 2, drag it back to no audio. Same way. Just rinse, repeat. And now, make sure here in your avatar descriptor that your FX layer is set correctly. I had already done that because, I just kind of forgot to show that, but it is there. Make sure that's there. And then make sure that our audio is off, but our audio source component here, because I made this mistake the last time I recorded this, is on, object off, component on. Okay? And then we should be good to go. I'm going to cross my fingers here and hope that I did things right and that I don't have to pause and figure out what I made a mistake on. So here we go. Let's do it. Oh, and the audio is going to be loud. I'm just going to play it for a couple seconds here and then turn it right back off. So, emote, you can see it's turned off right now.
Juice, sauce.
Works. Just like that. Just like that, it's done. And that's it. That's all there is to it. You just rinse and repeat for as many as you want. And yeah, I hope this helps.